Hey everyone, and welcome to After Hours here at Linda's. I am super excited that you are joining me tonight. I have a really cool episode planned out for you based off of the tools that we looked at in the past Black Friday, Cyber Monday Stream and Shop session that we had. If you did not know that we were doing Stream and Shop this past weekend, you need to make sure you're subscribed to our channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed right down there at that bottom right hand corner. If you're watching us on Facebook, Instagram, or even on our very own website, please make sure that you're liking, following, and subscribing to our newsletter so you can stay up to date with all of the amazing things happening here at Linda's and all of the cool stuff that happens here at the studio. We've always got fun things planned out here. So, tonight we're going to be taking a look at how to create perfect feathers in minutes. That's right, minutes, using the advanced system of Pauline's Quilters World feather templates. So it's this really cool system. You saw me demonstrate it Monday at 3 on that stream and shop session. And it's a really, really cool system that I'm super excited to give you a little bit more of an up close personal look. Now, when I demonstrated it, mom, production, she's not here. I think she's on a plane again right now. But she said, you really need to show them how to quilt it. It's really cool that you sketched it out, but now let's take a look at quilting it. So I'm trying a different technique from somebody on the team. They said, maybe you should walk them through what you are talking about so you have more time to focus on the instruction of it instead of having to worry about the camera and the angle and everything going on. So I do want to give you a brief overview on the template one more time, just so you can see them a little bit up close. And then we're going to go over to the machine, technically, and I'll be right here talking you through everything going on. So this is super duper exciting. So let's hop overhead and let's take a look. So these are those templates, again, the feather templates for controlled quilting. These were originally designed for doing quilt as you go, sit down quilting on your domestic sewing machine. I'm just taking it a step further and doing it on my long arm. So we have all that really cool stuff. You have those templates that we will look at when we get over to the machine, just like that. So here's that really cool stuff. So we're going to hop back to the machine and take a look at how they are used. So let's hop over there. There we are. Okay, so these again are those feather quilting templates by Pauline Quilters World. One of the things that I really, really love about these is that they come with so many amazing instructions on them. And then you've got some really cool QR codes from Pauline herself that have you having those videos that you can follow. One thing that you really want to look at when you are working with these templates or any templates in general is you want to make sure you have a nice flat surface on your long arm machine. So I want to show you that I've got my extended ruler base on. Big, big plus for that because it gives you, again, that nice flat, hard surface to draw on. One thing to always keep in mind, and we ran into this over our sessions this past weekend, is when you have that extended base on, you are losing a little bit of your quilting area. So, what I would recommend you do is go to the very bottom of your quilting area when you have that extended base on. Give yourself a big, wide basting stitch no matter what project you're working on. This is just a demo piece, but no matter what sample you're working with, give yourself that basting line across the bottom so you have that safety area to follow when you're working on this. So I just did a big basting stitch that I'm going to pull out later once I'm done. No need to tie off your basting, it's coming out. Okay. So just you're having that big visual right there. So you know when you're getting close that you're probably going to hit that bar and you don't want to mess up those feathers when you do that. So we have done our little basting line at the bottom. Now what we're going to do is start drawing out the stem for this. Now I personally like to use my ultimate marking pencil to do that. And when I get to the little bit of the edge of that machine extended base, I'm just going to move the machine with me and then keep drawing. Taking excess pressure off of the fabric when I'm pushing down, when I'm drawing, helps me have a little bit more of a steady hand as well, which is super duper nice. Now, these templates that are available on our website, lindas.com, you get 3 of the feather templates. You have that traditional that traditional feather, those elongated ones that you just saw, and then a little bit more of the larger elongated ones. What's awesome about these is you can kind of mix and match them as you see fit. This is the one in the set that I wanted to use tonight. So I'm going to start with the smaller. This is about the third size feather. And what I'm going to be doing on this is I am going to trace using my ultimate marking pencil on the inside of this stencil. They are hollowed out, which is amazing. And you are just going to draw right around the inside of those to create that cute little plume. Now, one thing to note is the ultimate marking pencil is a little bit thicker than your traditional size pencil. So you can also use a chalk pencil like I'm showing right now if you wanted to do some of those smaller sections. I'm okay using that larger pencil and just kind of filling in the areas because that ultimate marking pencil does iron away, which is amazing. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. Now, with this design, you are going to stack up your next feather and make sure that you are drawing line to line. So you can see that I'm starting at the top of that feather and then coming down the side. I don't have to retrace the whole entire thing. So I'm gonna give us a pause on that real quick. And we're gonna go overhead and look a little bit closer exactly what I mean on that. So let's hop over here. I've got a whole production today, folks. And we can use this template. Okay. So let's give ourselves that line that I had, okay? And I'm gonna take that template, give myself that first initial feather. Meow. Boom. Okay. So that was the first one that we just saw a second ago. The next one that we're gonna stack on, no matter what size we wanna do, the really cool thing about these templates is they're built around to nest into each other. So once you find that perfect angle, you can just kinda nest that next one on it. And when I say you're gonna draw line to line, you're gonna start right up here on that feather. There's no need to do this whole piece again. You're just gonna start right up here, nest it, and then stack it around just like that, okay? So you're gonna see throughout the video when we do this line to line, I'm gonna mention that a couple of times. You're always starting just at the top portion of this and then wrapping around as you go. Okay, so let's bounce back to the video. I don't quite remember what time we were at on this, so I have to go back through this. I told myself, take note of what time we're on so you can remember. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's too far. Oh, no, that's where we're at. Okay. Sorry about that. So you're just stacking in those feathers as you go. Again, finding that angle is really, really important. You want to make sure that you're nesting that in and then going line to line. So you're just going around and dropping that down. So you can just keep adding more and more. And you're creating these, again, like I said, in minutes, y'all. And having those amazing different sizes, you can fill them into different borders, different sashings, and loop them around as you see fit. Just like that. Super duper fun, super duper easy. So you can go up to the next size if you like. Always remembering to maintain that angle. Move your machine if you need to, so you're still having that nice flat surface to draw on. Keeps that from shifting. Now, in this feather right here, it's not completely nested in. So you're going to see that I'm going to draw from line and then I'm going to stop and slowly tilt that stencil so I can still get a nice close off on that feather plume, but I don't want to not have that angling at the top. See how that just matched in perfectly? So another benefit of these is the way they're designed, you can just nestle them in on that angle and then stop midway in your drawing and slowly roll it over to get that to fit in. So it's super duper duper cool, which we really, really like. As that just falls in, again, I see I'm turning this stencil, shifting it ever so slightly to get the exact angle that I want. Now, you don't necessarily have to follow the exact thing that I'm doing. Each of these feathers, no matter how many times I tried to draw them, always came out different. And that's what's really, really cool about it. You still have that unique flair on it, but you're getting that nice overall base layer on that, which is super duper cool. I want to say hello to everyone that is watching us live. Thank you so much for being here. I've got Ray in the back looking at questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in, and he will talk to me about them. I guess I can get them answered for you. Now, one thing that you just noticed here on this, I'm going to pause this video so you could see that again. So one thing that is noticed here is I actually switched out the feather templates on this. I went to the more elongated one, if I can find it. There we go. That more elongated one, I was able to nestle these in and out. They work together. They still have that nice angle, so you can change them out every single feather if you wanted to, which is really, really cool and a lot of fun. Okay, so let's bounce back to keep watching. Did I hit play? There it goes. Okay. So those are just gonna again then nestle in. So I switched back to that original template that I went with, and they're just gonna keep working your way through these. Again, you're going line to line as you go and just filling that section in all the way, remembering to move your machine across. Now, these are those feather templates available on our website, lindas.com. They come in that set of three and they are just absolutely stunning. And you can see that you can just start drawing them faster and faster and faster as you see fit. Always remembering to make sure you have that right angle so they're nestled up together. You just kind of figure out which way you want it to work best, which is super duper fun. Just like that. These are so cool. Now, again, that is that ultimate marking pencil that I'm using here. Another benefit of using these templates or using this pencil is if you want to sit down maybe at your kitchen table or at your sewing table and really mark out the quilt so you can feel super duper confident when you're putting it on the frame that you're just going and you're not having any downtime. Feel free to do that. That ultimate marking pencil doesn't move or disappear until you iron it away. So you can totally do anything that you want to do with this when it comes to nestling it out, redesigning it. You can draw it out and be like, yeah, I didn't like that at all. Hit it with the iron, it's going to disappear, and then you can draw again. So you're not having to lean over that frame if you don't want to, but you also have that ability to work as you go, which is a lot of fun. So we're coming up in here. I did two little small feathers, and as I was doing it, I realized quickly that that really wasn't what I liked. So I'm looping this around with a taller feather. You can see I've got those small ones that are built in to this. Um, but you can erase those out if you don't want to, iron them away. I'm actually, when we go to quilt it, I'm actually going to quilt them in, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm coming in with a little bit of a different angle to kind of smoothen that out. I didn't like the way that I had curved the stencil originally, but I wanted you to see that you can change these designs on the fly. You don't have to be stuck with that one that you put on there. Switch it up a little bit, have a little bit of movement on it, and it's really, really cool how it works. So while I'm finishing that off, putting on that top little piece, I'm going to take a look at any of these questions. Or he said at some point, can CQC show all that comes in the package? Yes, of course I can. Yeah, I can totally get you to see everything that. Actually, we'll swap over there real quick. Let me pause this and we can swap and see everything that comes in that package. All right, so feather templates. That is the kind of home page, I guess, the cover page of it. And then you're going to get this template right here. This is going to be one of the three. All these different pieces. So you have those different size feathers, and then you have different ending points. So you could put a teardrop at the top, maybe this little seed in those sections. If you want to add in a little bit of other flair, you have those. So that's one of the three that come in the package. This one is going to be a much more elongated feather. This almost looks like kind of like a palm tree leaf to me. These get really, really long. So you can add these in tight spaces that you don't necessarily know what to put where. You can use that. You also still have that seed and different section here. And then last but not least, in that feather template, you're going to get these much larger plumes right here. Again, filling up all those different size borders, different size sashings, and those are going to be all in that feather template set. Again, available at lindas.com, which is super duper cool. We love that. Tracy had a question. How do you know which size to use, or is it just personal preference? Completely personal preference, Tracy. All depends on however you're wanting it to fit. Do you want to have a larger quilting? Do you want to have more open quilting? Or do you want to have a denser quilting area or quilted feather? Completely up to you, all about personal preference, which we absolutely love that in the quilting world. So thank you for your question. All right, Let's hop back over and see what we're doing. Now, you're still using that same template for either the left side or the right side. It is a simple flip or mirror image of that template. So if you're working with it in that one side, all you're doing is flipping it the other direction, and that way you can do the opposite side of your feather stem as well. Let's see. Judy says, "Does the ultimate marking pencil draw only on dark fabric?" It is a white pencil used for darker fabrics. If you were looking for a darker pencil to work on lighter fabrics, you could use like a light gray chalk pencil. You can find those pretty easily, and those are going to draw. They just don't iron away; they're going to erase away when you're looking at that. So always keep that in mind, but they both work really well. Another cool thing, if you are using, if you only do have a white pencil with white fabric, I have, depending on the fabric, I have used it and then used a black light, and sometimes you can see the white pencil. Also used a glow pencil on light fabric, and that works really well too. But those are still both iron off. Excuse me, do not iron, erase off options on those as well. So we're just filling in the final sections of our feather. You can see that I'm just adding in kind of whatever feels right to me, throwing in different pieces, elongated sections, finding that perfect angle, and then rotating the stencil as I see fit to fit whatever feather that I like. Super duper cool. I want to thank everyone for watching us on all of the different platforms. I really, really appreciate it as I'm finalizing into this. If you're just now joining us, we are taking a look at the feather templates from Pauline's Quilters World that we have here at Linda's. This is a set of 3 templates, all sorts of different sizes, and you can create some really beautiful things with this. And we're coming up to the end of this section. One thing I want you to notice here is you can see that I have that template when I was drawing with it originally. It was kind of pushed out past the stem. Another benefit of these is you can make them whatever you want them to be. I've been saying this a couple of times, but I'm going to continuously keep saying it. You can make these feathers however you want them to be just by simply shifting that stencil around and rotating a little bit to get the desired look that you want. Again, all personal preference, and I'm super duper excited. Penny said, "Yay, I'm finally on live." Penny, thank you so much for joining us live. I really appreciate that. Super duper fun. And we have finalized off our feather here. So this is cool. This is going to be the final piece, drawing out that beautiful look at that. I don't even think I could have done that by myself. That's so beautiful. I love these templates. So I'm going to find my starting and stopping point. I'm just going to mark on my fabric so I know that I've got a start and stop on this. This gives me mental clarity of where I am going to be taking my machine and working with it as I go. So I've set all of my stuff to the side. We're going to come down to our starting point, and we're going to pull up our thread. One thing about these templates as well is they are not long arm exclusive. They were actually created to do quilting on your sewing machine, which is cool. But I am kind of showing them off on a long arm as well. So I've picked up my thread, and now we're going to start stitching. We're just going to start down that stem curve. And on the top section, I'm doing that traditional back and forth feather. You can see that I'm re-stitching over the section of feather that I've already done as I'm going throughout that piece, just really going up and down. And then on the bottom, I'm going to show you a different way that you can attach these as well, and you'll figure out whichever feather you like the best. There's not only 2 feathers, 1,000 different ways to quilt feathers. But this was just the 2 feathers that I like to use. All right, so right here you can see that I'm going up, finishing off that big feather, and then I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna put those 2 little ones in there anyway, just to add a little flair to it. So why not?" All right, we're going in, finishing up that little seed, traveling back down our stem. I always like to work up the stem. I really have a hard way doing feathers backwards. So I like to go this way. Now, this one we are gonna do that other feather. So we're gonna do that draw, and then we're gonna wrap around, see, and wrap back over. Wrap around, make that little over stitching C, and then back over. So completely up to you, depending on how you want to tackle these feathers, okay? However you want to see them done. In the comments, let me know. Which type of feather do you like to quilt? Do you like to do that traditional up and over, or do you like to do that C hook? So you can put traditional or C hook on that as you go. So we're finishing up here around that, and those are absolutely stunning. And if we wouldn't have talked it through, it only would have been honestly a few minutes, guys. That's what's so fun about this amazing system. I had to turn off the lights so you could see it in a black light. This is with the Glide neon thread. This is neon green that we carry, and then I've got it on a black light on my machine. But look how fun and beautiful that feather turned out. Oh, that's so, so cool. I really, really like that. I love these templates. I'm obsessed. I've always had fun with stitching in the on with stitching my feathers, but to really have more of a guide on this feather is so amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so good. So, so good. Alrighty. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the feather templates. I'll be here for a few minutes to answer those questions. Again, they are super duper cool. I'm going to give you another overhead visual of how these work if you just joined us, just so you can see that why those are flying in. I didn't give you a good visual, in my opinion, of flipping these, so I just wanted to show you this. So you've got that traditional, and this is another thing that we can see a little closer than we were able to see on the video, is right here. You see how this feather is, this point of it is extended past the stem. No issues at all on that. You're still going to start here, wrap around, and when you get to right about there, turn. See how easy that was? Just turning that and then arc it, continuing down, just like that. So, so pretty. Now, using this same stencil, we currently had it this way. Well, let's see if we can get it better. There we go. This way. To do it on the bottom side, you're just going to flip that stencil over, and then you have that feather sticking on the opposite side. And then you can continue to draw them however you would like them to be. Just like that. Oh, Lori, thank you. She said anyone would be proud of that feather. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. These little small sections here, you could add in a little tiny baby feather. This is where you could also add in maybe one of those seeds if you wanted to. Completely up to you. Always remembering to stick with that angle. So this is a good one here. Wrap around and down, filling in that section. And then you can come out of that with a little bit of a larger feather or a smaller one as well. These are so great for practicing your feathers, for creating perfect, beautiful feathers. And I know all of you can do it. So those are super duper fun. Again, these were the feather templates for controlled quilting. These are available on our website, lindas.com. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me tonight on After Hours. I hope you enjoyed learning about this as much as I did showing you. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below and we will get them answered as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Bye.